Okay, so the whole Infinity album is essentially all of my style. So like I'm not necessarily like taking anything for granted in this album. This is all like raw. You know what I'm saying? I like to have fun. I feel like recording it was fun to do, but it was a long time of like kind of deciding what concept to go with. And then after a while, like songs like No Discussions, I kind of stopped caring. Like I didn't really care as much. I was just like, hey, whatever, man, let's just go with what we know. And that's what it is. Like that's why I said I don't really care about shit, you know what I'm saying? So like that was one of the fun things. But I guess starting from the first part of the album, like the love songs and stuff like that, Call It Lovin' was more so like simply it's about, you know, a lot of times the girls can't commit, girls can't commit to certain things because maybe sometimes they have too many men that want to be involved in their life, but then they have a little like jealous thing where they have like, oh, I want to like be with him but also with him, and but then you go out with her and she acts as if you're hers or she's yours, you know, so she doesn't let you do much, and you're essentially sitting there kind of like, if we're just friends, then why can't I do what I want to do, you know what I mean? So that was like what Call It Lovin' was about. And moving on toward that, I kind of wanted to strengthen out the album a little more by adding Heart Awaiting. So Heart Awaiting was essentially about kind of what's going on. Why can't you make up your mind? Why do I have to sit here and wait for you and you don't even know how to commit? So that was what Heart Awaiting was, and it was a little stronger, you know. I felt like Call It Lovin' was kind of telling her like, this is how I feel about you, and then kind of driving it home with Heart Awaiting. That was like the biggest thing. Now kind of moving forward, so pretty sure we go from there and then we go into Rolling. So like Rolling, I was out there in LA, and one of my homies just so happened, you know, I actually had two homies. I had DJ there, I had Queso there, and my homie Bubbly too. So I linked up with Bubbly, and he's a producer in LA. Linked up with him because we had a little show on 420, so I wanted to go out there, have some fun in LA, and then essentially like make, you know, networking, have fun, do what people do in LA, right? So Queso got a Tesla and he let me drive that bitch. So that's what made Rolling. Like Rolling was like, I'm rolling around in a Tesla. Then I started getting in my imagination, and I wanted that bitch to be, you know, interiors all red, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, and roll down the pull back the sunroof on that bitch. I don't even know if Teslas have sunroofs, but that was the idea of everything. So I felt like that was like a big thing. Kind of moving forward off that, I'm pretty sure what we have, Waiting Room was that was kind of more so of a track that I felt was me feeling more hungry. I think Waiting Room comes a little later. I think we start to get on to like Shake That or something like that, but I'll get to Waiting Room. But Shake That was a strip club song. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know, I wanted this to be such a versatile album that I wanted to put like all matters in the forefront. And I feel like the strip club songs, or just the simple club songs and stuff like that, it expresses everything, you know. Who cares if you don't got the bread? Who cares if you're just there to party or whatever? You don't have what you have. As long as you're not talking about blowing somebody's head off, stuff like that, that's a little different. But there are songs that I don't feel like capping about what you have is more like it's not, I don't think it's cap. I feel like it's more so like manifestation, because all of this stuff I do plan on end up having it. You know what I mean? It feels better. Imagine you never saying and then it happens, rather than you saying what happens and then it all happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how that goes, and this and that. But that's what Shake That is. It's just a club song, you know. You want to see, you want the ladies to get you know, out of their well, maybe, I don't know if they're getting in their comfort zone or out of their comfort zone, but they're getting somewhere. So that's the excitement behind Shake That. Now On It, that track is more so like, I see a lot of the female artists in Minnesota, at least, and what you got ladies in the industry, all they talk about is, oh, like, this is what my nigga do for me, and this is what he do, and this is what he gonna do, and this, that, and the other, whatever. So I flipped the script. What? I'm not about to sit there and act like sit there and be a whole gentleman if y'all gonna be acting like that, right? So that's what Get Down on It, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff was more so just me being grimy, me kind of just getting back at the ladies and stuff like that. So I felt like that was more of a fun song. I don't care really if people get offended by it. Get offended, okay? Like, it's a song, you know? And a lot of these things are just songs. I want people to feel good. I want people to be in the certain moods. There's different moods to the album, so I want people to be all invested in the mood. If you feel a certain way, there's probably a song on the album that can express your emotion. So yeah, On It was like me, so I was just kind of like flexing a little bit, so that was exciting. Another song on the album, I think this is where we start to get into like songs like No Discussion. I don't even know if I'm going in order, but I'll kind of, you know, No Discussion was more, yeah, like, I don't care, I'm done like acting as if like I'm done acting as if you know, oh, all I need is this, all I need is this and this and that and the other, whatever. Oh wait, that's where that's where Waiting Room comes in, right? So at first I'm waiting, I'm patiently waiting in this, and it feels like I'm in a waiting room, you know? You're like in a holding cell as a musician, you know it's coming, but you don't know when. That's what Waiting Room is about, you know? And there's times where I'm like, damn, like, I need to chill out, so I'm probably gonna, like, you know, sip this Whitney and cool out, you know what I mean? So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, you know? So that was what that was about. That's what Waiting Room is, you know? You see what's going on, you see where it's going. It's really, you feel this momentum, you feel this burning feeling in your core, and you just want to express that to people. So that's what Waiting Room is around. You're sitting around and just waiting for the moment to come, right? So that was that. And then, you know, shifting over to No Discussions, where I don't care, you know? After a while, you stop caring and you just go. You just go, and you should just go. I don't think you should sit there and wait, you know? Work hard and stop caring so much about the next moment to come, and just do what you do best and do what you love to do. And that's how things kind of fall into place, you know? The more you care, the more that they don't care. That's kind of what I learned. So I feel like No Discussions kind of gives a lot of emphasis on that. I don't really care about shit. I'm on my own shit. Who cares? Catch me with a briefcase. I just mind my own business type shit. Like, I really don't care. You know, support or not, it is what it is. I enjoy making music, and that's who I am as an artist. And I'll make any plethora, you know. I like my writing skills. I like the style in my flows and stuff like that. And I just like to have fun with them, you know. And Foz, he'll throw a good beat on, or he'll send a bunch of beats to the folder, and then I'll kind of look through them and be like this. Most of the time, he'll send them in a whole line, and I'll just boom, 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 boom. And then we kind of choose what we wanted for the concept of any album or whatever. So that was that. Now, moving forward to songs like what do we have? Locked In. Locked In was another one of those, you know. I got through with the clubs, and I got through with being you know, partying every weekend. I was literally lit all the time, always partying, and not too focused on music, you know. I was focused on music, and I love being an artist. I was recording, but there wasn't a time where I'm going outside to shoot reels, because I felt like I wasn't really getting the most of it. I don't know how to direct music videos. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do and how to do it. So that's good to have Huncho around, because he kind of guides me through these things, and now we have things figured out. But at the time, I was locked in, and I was just in the studio, you know what I'm saying? I said door seals shut, and I was essentially just making music and not really thinking about the outside world after the whole party phase. And I started getting a lot more spiritual with things. So yeah, that's when I started looking at people, you know, like you know, Jay-Z and 99 Problems, and then I'll be looking at like J. Cole and listening to how he's saying these things. And then it's like, you know, I'm saying Drake. I like Drake. I like Travis Scott. Travis Scott's cool. I like Travis Scott. I like the way that he performs. But there's just a whole bunch of artists that I was watching in performance videos. I was watching their shows. I was listening to the music and just loading my mind up with a bunch of stuff that they're kind of like teaching me. Essentially is just pay attention. But also like spiritually, you know, I'm definitely into God. Like I built my relationship, and you know, I know he loves me, and so that's why I feel like I don't need to worry as much also. But so all of that stuff kind of combined into one is what Locked In is. It's dropping the bad things and kind of bringing in the good things. So I got back to you know, shooting reels and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep those rolling, but I'm still trying to understand how to find my pocket in the whole reel thing. I'm not with the social media reels and all that other stuff. So, you know, that was Locked In. Now, Mode